And welcome back to the University of Nebraska President's Halftime Show with President Jeff Gold, where what we do is catch up each week on what's happening across the university. And President Gold, what's on your mind this week?
Well, this is just an amazing week to be at Memorial Stadium, and it's great to be with you again, Matt. Obviously, this is the 400th sellout game of the Huskers here at Memorial Stadium, and just makes me think about the incredible fans that we have that come here and they root on the Huskers through good days and bad days, good years and bad years. And obviously, we're all rooting for a great year this year as well. The opportunity to attend these games, to meet the kids, the adults, the older people, who all have the same thing, wear their bright red and yell and scream and applaud, are just amazing.
Speaking of competing, I've heard you talk a lot about the AAU and working to be invited back in, and that's obviously going to involve a lot of competition and hard work. Can you share with our audience what the AAU is and what getting back in will entail?
Well, AAU stands for Association of American Universities, and it's a group of 71 universities, of which 69 are American, 2 are in Canada. And they are a group of very academically superior universities. Think the Hopkins and the Harvards and others across our country, but a good number of others, including 17 of the 18 members of the Big Ten, of which we are now the only member of the Big Ten that is not part of this elite organization. To me, the important part of the AAU is that it stresses the same things, the excellence that we stress in academics, things such as research, things such as academic performance and success of our students, number of doctoral students we graduate. It stresses awards, recognition, and opportunities on a national stage that our faculty can have. So those are all things that make universities great. Now, they're all tremendous and important aspirational goals for the University of Nebraska system.
Well, let's talk about some of the things that researchers actually help accomplish.
Well, I could give you many different examples. One of my favorite is a good friend, Dr. Shane Ferreter, and Shane is this gentleman who invented the new type of surgical robot. Surgical robots, something I've been involved with for many, many decades of my life when I was a practicing surgeon. But this is a concept of a smaller, portable, a much more user-friendly type of robot system, by the way, recently tested on the International Space Station and found to be successful. He then went on and founded his own company, and he's an example of a great faculty member who did laboratory research in his area, surgical robotics, was able to get patents and protect the intellectual property, started a company, and is now based here in Lincoln, Nebraska, to manufacture these devices and achieve formal full Food and Drug Administration approval and change the world by making surgery safer. Kudos to Shane, and kudos to a university that makes people like Shane successful.
Well, I think that's absolutely wonderful. Do you have any other examples of inventions or innovations that researchers that are involved have helped out with?
Oh, I could give you an endless list, but we've done a lot of work on new medication to treat malaria, for instance. Now, our audience may not realize this, but malaria is still the number one killer worldwide, almost exclusively in the developing part of the world. And our College of Pharmacy faculty have been instrumental in new treatments. A day doesn't go by that I don't become aware of a new drug to either provide earlier detection for cancer, better prevention for cancer, or even treatment for cancer. As you've heard about bone marrow transplantation, many people believe, and as do I, that Dr. James Armitage, professor here in the Department of Hematology Oncology at the University of Nebraska Medical Center College of Medicine, is the father of bone marrow transplantation, which has now led into stem cell transplantation, which has now led into CAR T therapy for cancer. And so we are really proud of the research that changes human lives. As I like to say, Matt, research is never done till a human being's life has been improved, and there are just lots of examples of that.
Oh, that's That's a great quote. President Gold, last question before we wrap up here today. Memorial Stadium celebrating its 400th consecutive sellout tonight, which you mentioned earlier. What are just your thoughts and your feelings about what is just a major milestone?
Well, it's pretty clear to me as I walk through the stands and the concession areas, and as I stand outside the stadium and meet the students and the community members who line up, drive hours and hours. Everybody from the people who cut my hair to the people who wait tables. When I show up in my bright red blazer and they know it's game day, their enthusiasm and their warmth is just amazing. So all I can say to our fans is thank you for continuing to support this great athletic program, and I am absolutely convinced that the best is ahead.
Wonderful. President Jeff Gold, we really appreciate it, and thank you, and I'll visit with you next week.
Look forward to it, and thank you.
Thank you very much. We're at the half, the Huskers and the Illini. More halftime coming your way in a few moments.